Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oops. I think you.
Okay.
Ready? Well, now. Good. Good.
Okay.
I will check the notes. You're already presenting. Why is not working?
Yeah, there are some things that meanwhile we can talk some stuff. So how about like how many of you know Elasticsearch? Like I could see 20% of people know. How many of you used it and like for monitoring or any logging use case in production? Like are you using it? So good. So this would be a really nice talk for you guys where if you want to know more about Elastic and what it is as a company, as an open source company, what are the products, and this is definitely not a sales or marketing pitch that I'm doing here. I'm just doing this open source thing. Everything that I tell here, majority of the stuff is open source. The core is open source that you can perpetually use it forever for free without paying anything to anyone. And there are some features like we do have some products or plugins where we kind of do some commercial offering, but even then some of them are really again free, so free to use forever. So yeah, I'll do a demonstration of them, and then yeah, we'll kind of like first I'll give you a brief overview of who we are and what are the products and the stack. Then we'll go into the details of it. Then probably if needed, we can take a 5-minute break, or if not, we can go ahead and do demos. And then yeah, so then we'll see and we'll take questions. So yeah, we are good, right? So I'm Aravind. I work at Elastic as a developer advocate for India. So I look after the developer relation function in India, and primarily we do have meetup groups in Bangalore, Pune, and Delhi, and we are looking to expand in other places. By the way, I'm company like I just started 3 months back, and we are really looking at India as a bright spot for us, and not from a business point of view, but many developers are using Elasticsearch here, and there's a growing need for people and community to reach out and support. Like more than like so many questions are from this area, and we are really interested to know the needs and understand and get back to the community and do whatever we could, right, from the point of engineering. So today I would be talking about the introduction to Elastic Stack, and yeah. So before getting into what is Elastic Stack and all, so Elastic is a remote-based company. We are around 800 people in 32 countries. I work from home. There is no office at all, and yeah, the company works in that way. We build distributed products. Elasticsearch is distributed, and we are even distributed as well. So and we say proudly that we are distributed as well as we build distributed systems. So this is a stack that I've been talking about. Elastic Stack is 100% open source, and there is no enterprise and community versions. It's completely open source from the point of like whatever you get download, it's completely visible over the internet, and the development is happening all the way on the GitHub. So Elasticsearch is the heart of this stack. It is the open source JSON based search engine. It stores data. For some people, it acts like a primary data store, like a NoSQL database. Or for some people, it acts like a search engine where they do full text search engines, which is like just having an in-house Google. So that is one more thing. And what are the other things? So we do have a place where it's a kind of data repository, and to push in data we need to have something else as well, right? So the Logstash does the part of pushing the data inside, pulling the data from various sources. It is an ingest product where you pull the data from various sources and then like push it into the Elasticsearch. So, and beats are the lightweight shippers. So I'll definitely talk about each one of them, but I'm just giving a very one-line overview of what it does and how the stack works. So beats are the lightweight data shippers, and basically they ship the data from your server machines or from your commodity hardware anywhere. So there are various types of beats. So even beats are open source. There are like six or seven active beats that we are developing from the point of company, but there are 30 plus community beats. I'll talk about that. And then there's a Kibana which sits on top of all these things and gets you a visualization and a view to everything that you see. It's like you have a lot of data, and there are various ways that you can explore and project it, and then see a lot of stats. So that's what Elastic Stack is. So Elastic Stack is currently on 6.2 version. So previously there are various versions of it, like some of them might be using 2.x or somewhere around 5.x. We recently launched the 6.x version, and right now we are on 6.2. So that's about Elastic Stack, right? So yeah, I told about who we are, right? So we have around 80,000 plus community members on various platforms like the Discuss, the technical forum that we maintain, or even then the meetups and conferences. We do have a lot of people, and I think Europe and US places, like we do have more than one or two evangelists who are doing the work for us. And then we do also have the most downloaded world's most popular search engine other than Google, like the open source search engine. So it is downloaded more like 100 plus million downloads, and it's going more and like more and more. The growth is really steep. And then we do have also paid customers who pay for us for doing subscription. Even then I can talk more about that later. Yeah, so this is even one of us. So I'm slowly trying to explain one by one each product, and then we'll definitely describe more about each and every one of them. Then XPack is the extensions for the whatever the stack that you have viewed. So when you store the data into the Elasticsearch or the Elastic Stack completely, like the entire, when you have that entire modules in place and when you push in the data completely, then you can do many things with the data that is already there in the memory, right? When it is there, and you can see a lot of insights from the data, like sometimes it could be something related to ops, sometimes it could be something related to the e-commerce, sometimes it could be something related to the transaction analytics, security analytics, etc., all the sort of big data stuff. So for that, we developed some sort of plugins which we offer as part of a pack, which we call as XPack. And each and every plugin has a particular value that we see in. It's like security does the protect the stack entirely, alerting, monitoring. We do have reporting, and recently we do have something like machine learning and graph as well. So this is basic the commercial offering that we offer, and all these plugins are like, some of these plugins even now today are free. Like there are various levels of what do you call the subscriptions, and when you sign up or when you download this product, sometimes you get a 30-day trial for the entire suite, that security, alerting, monitoring, and reporting, etc. But after 30 days you can still take some of these basic plugins forever, like you can use it forever. Except security, I think some of them are like monitoring, and you get some sort of reporting, which is like which comes in the basic license. Again, you can use it. All you need to do is like download this XPack and then like subscribe for it. That's all. Yeah. So when I talk about all these things, right, if you're like seriously into ops and all, then you might have written so many scripts to deploy some stuff, and then you might be thinking about, oh, a lot of scripts, I have to deploy so many things, I have to maintain, manage all these things. Again, it becomes a system to monitor again, and I need to think of it, maintain it, all this stuff. So we have come up with something like called a SaaS offering, a software as a solution offering. It is there on GCP and AWS today, and I'll even all the demo that I show on is on Elastic Cloud, because as I can show it, that's why I'm using, and there is nothing alone. And I do have an on-premise, like the in-system running stuff, but I do tend to show it on Cloudware because it is very easy to use it. So all the stack and everything that I've talked till now, till this point when I started, everything can be deployed in one click using this. So there is a 14-day trial period. You can evaluate and see how it really looks like. And then we do have something for enterprise, Elastic Cloud Enterprise. I said that there is no enterprise version of it. Yes, there is no enterprise version. This is for people who particularly ask for us and say, suppose there is IBM or there is someone like American Express. They do request us like, oh, I have a lot of stuff to manage and maintain. So I would need something tailored for us. Then we do have some enterprise version of product, which manages some thousands and thousands of clusters and stuff like that. But using one or two clusters itself, you can do magic, and like you can do a lot of use cases could be solved. But people do have a lot of data nowadays. Data is the new oil, as my previous company CEO told. So so data is a new oil. So people have a lot of data. They want to do a lot of analytics on everything on that. Yeah. Yeah. Is the speed okay? Am I going a little fast, or uh, you're free to interrupt me in between and then ask some questions. I'm completely okay to take unless or until it takes a long explanations or something. Yeah. So as I told, Elasticsearch is the heart of the Elastic stack. So it's completely distributed. It You can think I should not compare it with Hadoop or any other distributed system, but it's like open, as I said, like it's a distributed system just like any other, like Ceph or even Hadoop. It follows the same sort of pattern, but it has its own way of solving things. So it's a highly available system, distributed. It is a very developer friendly. When I say developer friendly, I'll talk more about this point. And it's real time, and it offers you full text search engine. Suppose you store a probably like if you're storing something in if you have a product like Mintra, I think everybody knows Mintra, right? So, and you have a lot of products and in your catalog, and you want to do search. Suppose somebody searched blue jean, and there are two keywords, right? So blue and jean. So it's a very it's a categorical term. It applies to two more products, and you need to figure out which one matches it. So or you might say some US polo jean. Then like you should go and fetch that product or show that search results. So this does the job of full text search, and you can define how your document to be, and then it will index it and do the stuff for you. So there are various other features like aggregations and suggesters. You can completely build a system like Google. Yeah, exactly, a system like Google. Then about developer friendly, why I kept it for last, it's a bit interesting. So the product which I told, Elasticsearch, is like completely open source. Then you can also integrate, use your scripts or use your own methodologies to talk to. It's a JSON based, API based system, and then like you can tweak it to an extent that you can use it the way that you want. So there are many people who are using at an enormous scale. Like somebody could be like Spotify. Even people use it, like GitHub uses it for code searching, like which is like really different than what regular use cases. Yeah. So I spoke about Logstash, but I'll go deep into it. Logstash is nothing but a data processing pipeline. So suppose a good example could be, you do have a log file, and then you do have some sort of monitoring or some sort of how should I say, like you have some exceptions or some sort of log printing in about the various APIs being queried in the log. You do have some stuff like that. Then you want to push that log into the Elasticsearch just for doing some analysis, how the user behavior is there, what URLs or what pages are accessed more today, something like that. Then Logstash helps you to clear all the unnecessary stuff and maintains that URL, and pushes the right data into the Elasticsearch. So you have a lot of data, a lot of noise. This one helps you to filter that noise. There are various input output plugins. Suppose you take Twitter, you want to ingest in the sense, I would be using this word more, but ingest is something like you like take the data. It's similar to digest. Okay, so you can take the data, clear off the stuff, and then put into the Elasticsearch. So you can ingest the data using Logstash, and there are various plugins for Logstash. Like you can check Twitter plugin, like where you can pull in the tweets from the Twitter, and then you can analyze it, and or you can clean that up and then push it into the Elasticsearch. So this is just a data processing pipeline. You build the process, you tell that, suppose you have something like RabbitMQ where there's a message queued inside stuff, and then it pulls the data, clears the stuff, and then pushes into the Elasticsearch. That's why you see the diagram like Beats, Logstash, and Elasticsearch. You forget about the Beast, but it acts as a uh, it acts like a place where it collects all the data and then clears off the stuff. Yeah, so it ingests data from various sources. There are like more than 200 plugins, etc., a lot of stuff. And then the very interesting thing, probably end of the day, everyone want to see what they have ingested or what they have stored, right? So we need a view for it. So Kibana is the window into the Elastic Stack. So you can peep in through it and see a lot of interesting stuff. There are various visualizations. We are keep on increasing the way that we, like kind of visualizing the entire stack. And there are geospatial points that we would convert. Suppose if there is a DDoS attack happening, DDoS is a denial of service attack where there are some IP is bombarding your site, and it's a classic monitoring use case where people would want to monitor what is being used most of the time, like or my service should not get interrupted. So if there is a DDoS attack, and then it would show from which geo it is happening. Is it happening from some particular country, or is it happening from subnet? So we could show interactively on something like Elastic Maps. So we do have some map service which is backed by OpenStreetMaps. So it could be showed on that. And you can also build custom apps for this. Again, it's a developer product. So all these products which I talked about, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, or Beats, all these are open source first thing. Then all these are having APIs where you can talk to from outside itself. It's a completely a free and geeky project, and then works really well with many of the enterprises as well. So it's an enterprise standard product which is really good. Then yeah, so the interesting thing, I personally like Beats a lot, and it's really a hot tech that I like. So when you have all these things, see Logstash, what it does is it takes the data, clears off the stuff, acts like a middleman, pushes the data into the Elasticsearch. But end of the day, everybody should write some sort of agent to push the data from some server machines to the Elasticsearch, so to see the data and visualization, etc. So how it happens? So then we have seen this one, Beats. So Beats are lightweight data shippers. As I told, it ships the data from your machines. There are various Beats, and it works on a common. It's a Go based project. By the way, Elasticsearch is a completely Java based solution, and Logstash even is written in JRuby, something on that side. But we do are like having some Java extensions for that. And Kibana is in React and a bit of JavaScript. And Beats is a Go based project, and it is supported by a library called libbeat. And everything is open source here. And then like we do have these Beats shipping the data from the server machines to Elasticsearch. So we'll see what are these various Beats. So we do have some 6 Beats which are GA'd right now. There are some more Beats which we are in beta. So I've put only the GA'd Beats that are generally available to download, which are stable and which are good to use in production. So we recently did this audit beat, and audit beat helps you to check your uptime monitoring, or not even uptime monitoring. There's a typo here. So what it does is like, have you heard about Spectre and Meltdown? These attacks recent time.
Yes.
There's a CPU based, hardware based attacks that happened recently. Intel there's something happened. So audit beat can help you rectify such sort of problems. It monitors all your kernel based sys calls, and it can generate content to you so that you will see what is happening, which user is interacting with your kernel, or how is your memory footprint, what are the various paths that user is being accessed, or the data related to complete data related to the Linux kernel. So this is particularly for Linux, and yeah, and we are seeing a lot of interest from the community at this point. And then we have FileBeat. FileBeat does this log files. So you have a file which is generated from some Apache web server or something. Then if you have filebeat in the server, then filebeat will pull up the each and every log statement or the configured values, and then push it to the Elastic Stack. So all these does the job of pushing the data into Elastic Stack and Elasticsearch particularly. Then Elasticsearch does the hard time of crunching of data, and Kibana shows it to you. This is the crux, and there's nothing much. And each and every beat is for a specific purpose. Like file beat is for files. By the name you can find out. Like metrics, I'll show all these things. At least like I'll show metric beat, packet beat. I'll show about heartbeat. Audit beat also I'll show. So yeah, then metric beat is used for metrics collection. Packet beat is used for the network data and your layering data, transport data, and whom you are interacting, the transactions, HTTP headers, all this with certain parameters.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
So, is there any way that you have told that hardware monitor is monitored on this piece?
Yeah, exactly. So audit beat, what it does is it has the configuration. You just need to do a configuration in an Ansible YAML file, and then what you need to do is like you need to configure which parts are like to be monitored, to be siphoned out and send it to Elasticsearch. Then you will see all the happenings on that particular node or a particular you will get the data from what is happening around. I'll show it to you. It is there already.
So does it shows the vulnerability for the?
Yeah, so you can build a vulnerability management tool using these beats, audit beat. You can build it all related to Linux, and but it doesn't show you about the third party. So it doesn't show something around. Suppose you have some package installed on. There's a bug in a Python which is not a Linux system library. Then it doesn't show about anything about that. But you need to patch it by yourself.
Is this customizable for any?
Yeah, audit beat is again customizable. See, there are various beats built by community, by folks like you, developers. Like they have taken this lib beat and wrote their own beats, like Apache beat, Doc beat, Java beat. There's it's a new one, Twitter beat, which pulls the beats, and there's Nginx beat. Lot 30 plus active beats which are already listed on our site, and I'd be happy to show the link to you if you need. Yeah. So yeah, I've been talking about these products from a technical standpoint, but end of the day, you need to solve use cases. You need to solve problems. Everybody solves a problem, and not something that they technically you might know so much. But like we work on problems, and we work on, and in the sense, the developers, we all work on problems, and we all solve some use cases for a particular reason. So what all you can do with Elastic Stack entirely. So before adding this XPack adds value across all use cases, yes, but you can forget that for a moment, and you can think about all these solutions, all the things which are marked in the rectangles in the top, like security analytics, log analytics, metric analytics, business analytics, search. All these are use cases which can be built by you using Elastic Stack. Period. That's all. You can do it by yourself. And there are various open source projects, open source communities which does it by themselves. They are running it perfectly. There are big service companies in India and across the globe where they have done nice SOC. If you know Security Operation Command Center, I think even every company will have one sort of that sort of thing, and they would like to see what is happening in their company. Like, is there any attacks happening on their employee systems, or somebody is like stealing the data, all sorts of information security related stuff. So people have built that. So security analytics, log analytics, all these things can be done. So but we went ahead and we have created the solution from our side. And even this thing, which if you can go to elastic.co/solutions, you can just, or elastic.co/products, if you go, then you can see all the solutions available right now to download and try. And some of them are really free, like the APM, which we recently launched, application performance monitoring. So you have a Python or a Node.js app running in your web server, and you want to monitor where the application is crashing, when it is crashing, or when you are hitting a low downtime. Everything can be monitored. So we recently launched, and it's completely open source again. There is no charge, so it's free. Yeah, so these are the use cases that you can build, and if you add XPack will do it for you without any cost, and but you can also build it. What I'll do is, like, before going to demo, Yeah, I'll just show my setup. I'll show what I have, and I'll give you a brief overview of each and every product that I talked about, and then we'll go ahead. So, I've spoke to you about, right, this Elastic Cloud. So Elastic Cloud is a cloud offering from Elastic. So it is hosted Elasticsearch and Kibana on AWS and GCP. So both are like the popular cloud vendors, and you can try it by yourself all. And you just need to click and sign up and do some stuff. Yeah, then you'll be offered with this, create cluster, view existing cluster. I have already created a cluster. You just need to click on create cluster, and then yeah, it shows up some value, but if you are in trail, it doesn't show up. It shows 0, so no worries. And then there are cloud vendors and their regions where you can deploy this stack particularly. You can choose this how much GB or how much heap space, everything that you need, and how much is the data store that you need to add this stack. um, by default, Elasticsearch from 6.0 needs 1 gig of RAM at least to run. 1 gig is very less nowadays. It used to be like 2 GB earlier, but now it's 1 GB because it runs on Java, and there's a lot of even there's a lot of heap space to be allocated for the JVM to work all these things. So that's why Elasticsearch needs at least 1 GB machine to run a node. Okay, so that's how it is. So before going into more details into this stack and demo, so any questions about Elasticsearch, and have you I know like most of them have not raised their hands, and then I pretty much can give you a brief overview if you need about Elasticsearch itself. Like that itself, like it's a big thing, so I can give you a brief overview of how it is deployed and what are the things, so that you'll get a very brief idea. So do you want to know that? So Elasticsearch is a JSON-based search engine. I told all this stuff. So it's a Java-based program. So whenever you pull it up, and I'll show it up to you. Actually, that's better. Yeah, this is a one node cluster that is running on my own system, my Mac actually. So yeah, if you could see here, right?
Can you zoom?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Command plus.
Mm. So this is nothing but some Java, this thing.
Video is not turned on. Let's try it. The YouTube is not showing up.
Okay. No.
Video, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I just downloaded this, the Elastic search from the elastic.co/downloads, and then I copied it at some place, and I then just started it, went into bin, and then started this Elastic bash. That's what I just did. Nothing more than that. So if you see, if I just start it has started, and then it is showing something, so we can definitely see what is there. Let's take no local host. Okay, it is not up yet. We'll see what is there. So this is running on my dev system, and yeah, I haven't looked at it. Probably there's an IP that I need to pick up because I connected to a new Wi-Fi. It's running in a production mode, that's why. Yes, see. So again, control plus plus. When you download the Elasticsearch, go to the bin folder, any platform, Windows or Linux or Mac. Then you just need to run this thing, and then this is the first basic step. Your one node Elastic cluster is up and running. That's all. So yeah, so this is 6.1.3. It's not 6.2 when I started. This is the one, and yeah, this is the Elasticsearch. So now we have downloaded thing that we downloaded, and we just started it. It formed a one node, like a machine, which is running a Elasticsearch instance, and it's in one cluster. Cluster is a logical thing, right? When you have added more nodes, then it shows up and builds some next clusters like that, machines like that, nodes and all. So yeah, even I do have another node. So usually you are not supposed, or like we don't recommend you to run many nodes in a production mode. No, don't run more elastic or more nodes on a same system. It's not healthy, right? You are running a distributed system. It's good to be running on a separate machine, so that your everything is like high availability, everything is like done well. So but for the sake of demo, I have done some tweak, and like you can also do this. I have done some tweak, and I started two nodes on the on the same machine. And yeah, so now I do have, in one machine I do have two node cluster. Like I have two nodes. I didn't do anything much. I just copied this. I downloaded the Elasticsearch, went into the bin, started the shell script, and it started running. Again, I modified some configuration parameters, and then I did this. So you can stay with the first one for your playing with the product, but you can also do this production level two node cluster thing. So now I've spoke about this. All is like a black screen again. You need a view to see all this stuff, right? So then comes this Kibana and stuff like that. Yeah, I think Kibana is running in my local host. Yes. I hope it works. If not, I have to change the IP. Yeah, I shifted onto a new subnet or something, right? So because it might not work, I just need to know this. Yeah. Okay, it's red because there is some thing that I have done with it. But forget about this white screen that you see the status set, because of my cluster is red. There's some reason that I'm doing some stuff. Yeah, I've mentioned it because the network I changed it here. I connected to the AstraZeneca Wi-Fi stuff, right? So that's why it's not picking up my Elasticsearch nodes. Otherwise, you'll be prompted with a nice view, and then all these things are there. So yeah, let me try to just try to connect it. Probably it might work. It can't be changed. I think I need to modify some config. Yeah, so but we'll see in the cloud how it really looks like. So this is what the Elastic Stack is. So you can do it in your own system. So it formed a two node cluster. That's what I was talking about. Then coming to the architecture point of view, so two nodes, every node is a master, is a data node by itself. There are some other roles that a node can play, but I will not confuse you more. But this is what you need to know at this point of time. Like every node can be a master and can be a data node. By default, it's both are there. Both roles every node can do. So you can also configure a node to be a master, and also configure a node to be a data node. Especially we recommend that to do it, because in a distributed system it's better to have a master node take all the load and distribute it to a data node, and then like get the details done. So what it basically does is, whenever you put the data in through this Elasticsearch cluster, then what it does, like the master or any one of the node takes this request, processes it, and puts into the data store in the Elasticsearch. That's what it does. So when you configure master and data node separately, then your master only will take that node. Master will take the load of taking this entire request, and then process it, and then put it into the data node. So again, here there are several other ways that people would do. There are coordinated nodes, which is only used to take these API requests. because Elasticsearch is designed to serve. It's designed to search. Suppose there are several APIs, and you have one person, or there are several works. Think like in the real world, there are several works. You have one person doing the management for two different departments. Then the guy would is there's a lot of chance that he would make mistake, like error. So how we designed it, how it evolved as a system over a period of time is we have introduced more roles, and we have introduced in a way that you can route the request to a particular node, in the sense the machine, like the one which I spoke, right, the Elasticsearch node. And then the request is taken up and followed up by that particular node, and it gets executed and then gets delivered. That's how it happens. Then again, no, this entire stack is used to for various purposes, as I told previously, for various solutions. So this is a very brief overview. If you want to do it at your home in your own laptop, just download it, do this stuff, one node cluster. Just you can kickstart your things and start seeing some views and exploring the stuff. For the demo purpose, I have put up yes, okay. So I have put up I've taken a system in the in the Google Cloud, and that is my machine. Yeah, it needs to reconnect. Yeah, we are here. So I've taken this machine. This is my server. Think like you have a infrastructure, so many servers. I've taken one server out of it, and I have installed some beats in that. That's all I have done. And this is the Elastic Cloud, and this is where I have installed, or I have created a cluster through a UI that Elastic is providing. So all good till now. You're able to get this. Any doubts? All right. Yeah.
I will shoot last.
Yeah, it's fine. So whenever I used the GCP one, and I have created, I have got these credentials. Like, this is the hosted Elasticsearch, this is a Kibana. Usually when you do it in your own system, you would get localhost slash 9200 or 9300, that port, and you will get Kibana localhost colon 5601. That's the usual stuff. But when you do in cloud, you get all these URLs ready made, and this UI is already there. And it provides various functionalities, like you can see the instance run, what are the instances that are running, how is the cluster performing. I've done some serious stuff, it seems, some time back. And then index, how is the index response times, and how is the everything. These are like self-explanatory. So whenever it launches, you just need to click on this link, and your view opens up. This is how it opens up. That's all. So it shows up this Kibana. Then yeah, you have set up something. Now what you should do? Yeah, then you are here, like you can do logging, metrics analysis, security analytics, lot of stuff. So there are ready-made tutorials for like how you can do this with this UI. But now we'll take a particular use case, and we'll do a demonstration of that. So here in this particular machine, it's a Ubuntu 1.7 gig small type instance from GCP. I have taken this, and then I have installed uh, metric beat, and okay, good. Yeah, I have installed metric beat, packet beat, and audit beat. I spoke about metric beat. Like, metric beat is the beat which collects your system performance data. You are running an Apache web server. You need to collect the RAM, usage of RAM, how is your system related stuff doing on. And there are various modules, etc. like to this metric beat stuff. Modules in the sense, suppose you are running an Apache web server, or you are running some other distributed system like Hadoop, and you want to check what is happening on the system, how is the throughput, how is the IOPS doing. Then you can install the metric beats and open up this config file, which I'm going to show. Yeah, so okay. So usually when you download the metric beat and you install it, it gets into this etc metric beat folder, and then in the etc metric beat folder you will find the YAML files. So you just need to do nothing. When you do a cloud instance, just come here, do a vi. Okay, In order to change anything here, just skip everything, come down, find out something called Elastic Cloud. See, there is a name called Cloud ID, Cloud Auth. Whatever you have seen here, Cloud ID, copy this here from here to here, and Cloud Auth is something that is there. Like it is shown whenever you it's shown in the as a username password. You will be shown a username password actually whenever you create a cluster. Just copy paste that stuff, and then whenever you are here, you just need to give that username password here. Cloud Auth, the username colon the password. These are the username password that was shown when I was doing this stuff. That's all, nothing more than that. And yeah, so as a starter, you might find difficult to interact with the Kibana. So we have some basic dashboards done already for you to see the data. So you can come over here to the setup dashboards, remove the hash, and then make it true. That's all. This is the stuff that I have done, nothing much. So you can ask me, what if I'm doing it my home and like I want to do the same stuff? You can monitor your own system, like just how you see it in the task manager. You can do it on your own system. So how would I do it? So the same stuff, like there is something called setup Kibana, setup. There's a general field, setup Elasticsearch. There is one more that stuff is there. See, you can see setup Kibana. Here you would give localhost colon 56001, and yeah, it's already done. If you see right here, it's already done. You can just remove the colon and it starts working. And if you're using your own local host system, then you can use this output.elasticsearch. You just remove the colon and it happens up. So that's how it is. If you are using cloud, this is the facility that we are providing so that customers can do this stuff. But if you're not, if you're doing on your own, then also it's good. Now coming out to the Kibana part. Now that I have configured a particular stuff, a particular machine, and then what I did is I just started the service. I started, and then it's behind the scenes. It starts shipping the data to the Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch again is connected to the Kibana. Kibana is used to see the data. So whenever you first open the Kibana, now again we are shifting our focus to Kibana. Now it might be confusing. I'll again rephrase and redo the stuff again I have done. So we have taken we have created a cluster in the Elastic Cloud, and then it is already running. Then we have copied the credentials from there and edited a file that we want to took a server system, and then we edited that file, and we have given all the details, and then we saved the file and we started the service. We came to the Kibana by using cloud. We clicked on the link here, which is there in the cloud, and we came here. Now to see the data, Kibana should know which index to look out. Again, what is index? So Elasticsearch contains indexes. Indexes contain shards. Shards are replicated. So I'll just describe this line. So if you search in Google, right? So there should be a way that Google should index or like should map that Aravind is equal to this person, or like Aravind is equal to this, or Chennai is this places. I think you might have heard sometime saying their CEO saying they have built something called knowledge graph or something like that. They associate people, they build indexes which are very large than what we could even do. There is like a very big large data centers. So these are indexes, are like maps. You can just think about a map. Map contains a key and value pair. So key is the term that you are searching and value is the result that you are receiving. So similarly, when you search Chennai, then you might see some results. These are coming from a particular index. Index contain data from the Google or like from the layman's point of view. What Elasticsearch does literally, because we are discussing about this thing and we know it because it's open source, Elasticsearch builds the indexes from your data. So it could be a log index, it could be a monitoring index, it could be an index specific to a particular day logs, it could be a product catalog index, it could be anything, it could be index from particular user. Index could be anything. It's just a logical entity where you put in a lot of data and group it that way. When you query it by using the index name. That's how it happens. So again, from the point of managing a distributed system, there are various points that you need to. There are various features or various things that when you say distributed system, the data is always available and data is already distributed, and it offers a lot of features like fast throughput. I mean anything that. So it scales very well. So all these things should be satisfied. So then shards are the mechanism that we have come up with, where think of shard is a mini index inside the mega index. So you have a big index of some million documents. So you make 500,000 documents into one shard, 500,000 document on the shard, just for your understanding, but usually it doesn't happen like that. So every index when you create in Elasticsearch, it starts with basic of 5 shards. Shards are again like a small, I told you, right? It's a small container kind of stuff. Then what you can do is like each shard can be replicated. So that means suppose you have two machines, two node cluster, and then you have created an index, and then index is started with 5 shards. That means your shards are distributed across these two machines. And when you push in the data, you said that you're with me, right? So you have two machines, you have 5 shards. It's like 3 shards are in one machine, physical machine, and 2 shards in another physical machine. And you have given we have given a replication factor of 2. That means each shard will get replicated, and each shard is like duplicated and like created in another place. Suppose one of the machine goes off completely, still you will have a replica in the other place. So it is done in such a manner so that you will never lose data. So this is a basic point that we need to start off with. There are several factors that you would achieve with sharding and this replication. One good factor is the search throughput. Your search will happen within 100 milliseconds. Mega searches, something like you're searching for a news article which is of 20 years old, and you have stored the data like some 5 years back, and it's in leaps behind from a time point of view. Still you can get in 100 milliseconds. This is a classic use case from a media company. Okay, now again back to the stuff. So why we spoke about indexes. So I hope that I'm not really going fast, but you are free to interrupt and ask me and stop me and ask questions. Also you can ask me at the last. So yeah, so now why we have talked about the indexes. So for the Kibana to analyze some particular data or to talk to the Elasticsearch and show you some insight from the data, you need to have some sort of logical grouping mechanism in the Kibana, so that you will only see that data, you will not get distracted. So this is how it happens. So yeah, so in you come to the management. Whenever you see the Kibana, you come to the management, you click on the index patterns. This is the first step that you would do when you come to the Kibana, first step. Then you click on something called create index pattern. So index pattern is something like log star. If you give log star, it matches all the indexes which are related to log. Okay, because there is no see, the index pattern you have entered doesn't match any indexes. So that is what it's saying, right? So but if I do this monitoring related stuff, then it might match a monitoring index, right? I'll include the system. See, there are 6 indices which are monitoring based, and all these are matched. So I'll just click next step, and I'll select on what basis I would like to visualize the data. Generally, people would take one parameter out of the data and like what you call traverse the data. They could traverse the data. Many people would use the time, because everything is time based, it's linear, right? So logs generate over a period of time. You can see on which date or which time this event happened. You can particularly see that stuff. So yeah, so you can also say that I don't want to use any filter, and go ahead and create an index pattern. So if I create an index pattern, something like this would come in this side, in the left side. So these are the index patterns that I have created, right? Yeah, so now if you come to the index patterns, you would see something called metric bit. Now we have installed, we remember that we have installed the metric bit um, in that machine particularly, and it is supposed to be shipping data to here. That's what I've been telling all the time, right? So I will show one more interesting thing here, right? So I've been telling that Elasticsearch is a heavy developer oriented product. You can tweak a lot of stuff. So this is one classic example that you are monitoring a particular system, and then you always want to query on the latest data. Always want to query, or your system is all you want to do the analysis, or the query should run only on the latest one, like the what you call the today's data, or like the this month's data. You can create such sort of index which will archive, or which will, we should not call it purge, we are not deleting the data, but we archive the data and put it into a separate space, and we will create a new index with a new date. Just see, I have created this yesterday and I have created again today. So now you see metric beat is there for yesterday and today as well. So that's how it is. And but I have given the metric bit star. That means it collates both the data and show it as a one view for you. So now coming back to the index patterns. So now we have this metric beat installed, and now time to go to the dashboards and see some stuff. So I have told that you can also create visualizations by your own. Like you can see the data and then create all these graphs, whatever visualization, whatever it comes to your mind, everything is available actually. See something like this: bar charts, pie charts, heat maps, tag cloud. Each one of them you might have heard. I might be pronouncing something different, but it's not crazy. It's very simple. um, yeah, this is the data that is being collected right now. I think it's, see, it's 7:18 now. 7:17 we received one data from the machine that I'm running. It is saying that it's a particular beat. I think which beat it's running. Yeah, it's monitoring. Yeah, I see. I've told that we can visualize the data from the indexes or index patterns that I've created, right? Now I'll select the metric bit 621 stuff. So then it will show all the data which is related to the metric bit index. Again, in the top left corner, you can see the various time ranges. These are the various time ranges. You can pull it a particular filter and it will show only that data which is relevant to that day. So I'll say this week, it will show all the data which is related to this. So it is showing some, see, metric bit service. This is the C group ID, and yeah, what is the service that is running? I'm only collecting the system data. I don't have any server running there, but if I run server, I can also collect that data as well. So yeah, so here these are the various fields that are being collected from the system. See, system, CPU, disk, IO, everything. You can click on each and every machine and click on visualize. It will show you a graph. It will show something here, right? It will show. This is a small part in a big visualization, in a big dashboard. I don't know how many of you have seen, but essentially every company would have this big dashboard running in their system to see some real-time things, orders per minute, or requests per minute, or what is happening in my infrastructure, monitoring stuff, all stuff. So this is a visualization that you can create by yourself. But as I spoke, to just relieve that all this load on you, so we have created a beginner dashboards for you. So if you click on the I've clicked that metric beat. You can type metric beat. There will be some dashboards which are already there. These are various modules that we could monitor and give insights about: Apache, Docker, Golang, Kubernetes is very famous now, and Nginx, a lot of stuff. But I'm doing only the system one right now. I click on system overview, and then you see what is happening in that particular server. It's being shown here. Yeah, CPU usage, memory usage, not much. Inbound traffic, outbound traffic, nothing. I can do a quick. Okay. Oh, what happened? Yeah. See, I'm pinging it, right? So now probably there would be some network traffic around. See, there are some see top hosts by memory. everything that you would get. So there is only one host right now. That's why it's showing Aravind Ubuntu Expac demo. But if there are many hosts, it will show many things. And then also, this is a system overview. You can see the host overview, like what is happening with a particular host. You can change the host and then see beat name is this particular host. So that's why it is showing all these things that are happening: CPU usage, system load, disk IO, memory usage. Interestingly, it will show if you are running some good container C group related stuff. It will show some container CPU usage, what particular service is consuming, how much amount of CPU, various stuff. See, all these are custom built for the starter, but you can also go ahead and build something which is crazy and which suits your need. uh yeah. And at this point I would show something else, like, so yeah, we'll show it for the other beat actually. So now similarly, in the same manner, I have downloaded the packet beat and I have downloaded the audit beat. So packet beat monitors, as the name says, network layer. Audit beat monitors the the auditing related stuff, all the whatever the Linux kernel core stuff. So I have started that services as well, so that we could get some data, because this is very less when you compare it with uh, I mean, like, in like some time you won't get good data. So I have started that previously, so I'll show it that what is running here to you. By the way, just the configuration remains the same. You just open this particular in the etc. You open the packet beat folder, open the YAML file, and then edit the cloud ID, everything. Close it, save it. Again, do the same stuff. There are instructions to do how these things, and you can very well do this all by yourself. It takes hardly 5 minutes. So just see the status, active, running.
Sorry to interrupt you, Arvind.
Yeah.
Are we having any guide or
Yeah, we have.
like for the YML files we are editing?
There is a, see, okay, I'll show that. So we have shown packet beat, audit beat is also there. Let us check the status first. It's running, active and running. So then you asked me about the reference, right? Just see the metric beat dot reference dot yaml, right? And this is the reference file that you can look at if you want. But I would suggest go to the docs, because sometimes these files can mislead you. If you go and follow the docs, it will be descriptive. You don't need to do see and juggle this thing between the terminals. Rather than you go and see in the browser and come to the terminal, copy paste stuff, that would really work easily. And yeah, because he asked me, so if you want to monitor some particular module, like if you are running an Apache web server, or you're running a MongoDB, or you're running a Kubernetes installation, then you can really go into the modules.d, and it will show you all the modules that we are supporting right now. You see that Aerospike, Exit, and vSphere, Windows, Zookeeper, so many stuff, like all the famous stuff. You can monitor all these instances by using metric beat. Just you need to go into that YAML file, or like you just need to rename this YAML file, remove the disabled, and go into that and enable that file, that remove the hash. That's all. It will start shipping the data to your particular Elasticsearch instance. Yeah, now that we have seen the packet beat and audit beat running, let's go ahead and see the dashboards. You are with me, right?
Should be.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm at nearly end of this demo, probably, so that we could speak and we can like network sometime later. Um, it's kind of done. That's why I'm saying. Otherwise, I'd be happy. Yeah. So now, similarly for packet beat, so see, again, I said, like, you can build an awesome security analytics product by yourself using Elastic Stack. How do you do it basically? So there are various features that we provide in packetbeat. Again, similarly, the modules where you can infer and get the data, like who is talking to which DNS, or which machine is talking to which particular DNS, or is there any DDoS attack happening on our server from a particular IP range, or where is the network coming. Suppose your website is particularly for American client who is sitting in somewhere, but he is getting a lot of data from or requests from somewhere around the Asia Pacific or somewhere in the Far East. Then there is something fishy that is happening. That is, if somebody is trying to make it down, or there's a hacking attack happening on this thing. So using this packet beat, you can build such sort of dashboards, and using packet beat and metric beat together, you can build some pretty interesting stuff. uh, yeah, I'll tell you about our webinars in the ending, so that you can go ahead and watch and try building this stuff by yourself, like the security and all the other points. So now coming to the packet beat overview. See, there are when I installed and when I started using it. So this is a map service that we run, as I told. So right now there is no in so if I would have installed some Nginx server or some sort of Apache server, you would see a good amount of transactions happening. There is a it's a live system. There would be a lot of stuff. So we haven't done that. So that's why it is not showing up. So these are the response times. You know, uh, successful transactions versus not successful transactions, HTTP codes. See, these money are coming as errors, and yeah, well, let us go about and see the flows. Flows are the network flows which are happening across your product, and what are the IPs my system is communicating. Source IP, destination IP. So essentially, you can think about how many of you know Wireshark? Wireshark is a tool where you can capture the packet data, and then you can literally open the packet data and see do stuff. So that Wireshark also uses libcap, some sort of one lib library. So essentially, packetbeat also uses the libcap to show all this data in a visual manner without any effort. All stuff. By the way, you can download this. The some of these reports if you want to show and see. So transactions. This should be interesting. I think they, because I have started a Google this thing, so it should spike up. Yeah, there are 26 HTTP transactions that are happening. That means like uh, there are many transactions that are happening here, and which particular URL I'm querying, get compute metadata, uh, Ubuntu this Zinel backward. So what Ubuntu does is it checks for security upgrades, various sort of auto updates. So even it is checking which particular URLs your machine is querying to get data. So how many of them are 200 are successful? How many of them are 304? So all these things are shown. Yeah, these are the various parts. So that's it. Like, so this is quite interesting. When you sum up all these things together, you can build my more awesome stuff. So yeah, let me show this one more feature of this Kibana. I'll minimize it. So using Kibana, right, you can do full screen. So you can do an app like this, build a dashboard, and then it comes pretty beautiful, and like you can see all this data. You can put a project in your organization, and if you're building a solution or monitoring solution where you want to monitor how my system is doing, then you can do something like this. So yeah, that's it about Elastic Stack and various stuff. uh, yeah, but I do have some so more stuff. So we have understood what is a stack, how it works, and the demo we have seen various products, how it really works. Now time to see some resources. So if you are looking at some sort of getting started, this is the place to go: elastic.co/learn, and the blog. Go to the documentation. We also offer the trainings to a particular organization. If somebody wants to get trained, we do train, but I am not the one who does it. There is a special training team which does it virtually as well as physically. There are physical as well as virtual trainings. You can go ahead and subscribe for your organization if you want, or talk to me. That is also there. There's an engineering blog that we write. about all the products, how it works. Um, Elasticsearch is based on Apache Lucene. So Lucene is again open source project. It is the prime project which Doug Cutting, the founder of Hadoop, I mean like the inventor of Hadoop, he did that. So is based on Lucene. Lucene is again a powerful search library. So we use Lucene in like in the under the hood. Each shard again contains a Lucene library. It runs a Lucene index actually. So all this interesting stuff you can see in our engineering blog. You go to elastic.go/blog, you get a lot of stuff which are non-engineering as well, like how our culture or announcements, etc. But release announcement, and you also have the category engineering particularly, where you can go ahead and see stuff like that. And there is something like yeah, we do have the Elastic Facebook group. So I would suggest everybody to join it. We do have a lot of events that are coming up, and then yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that I'm done with my talk, but I need your feedback. I would like to come back again and again and present more stuff here, because I see the community is really good. And next time, probably when I come, and probably I will do something related to solution oriented, not an introduction, but something which is something like security or for that. But I need feedback. But I need to know how what you are looking at, or what Chennai DevOps is looking at. Is it related to monitoring, or is it related to alerting, stuff like that. I do have some more demo, but I think we are out on time. But I'm happy to show you like later if you are interested. I do have a lot of stuff to share because the Elasticsearch is a pretty big product, and yeah, you have something to share all the time. So please visit this URL and share me feedback. It would be awesome if you could give us me feedback, and it's essential to for us to improve and support you more. So that's it. Thank you so much. And I'm happy to take questions as well. I forgot this slide. Yeah.
And as per the sixth slide, you have added the Amazon Web Services logo there. So, how does it works in Amazon Web Services? How does this Elastic kind of
Which one? Which one?
Amazon Web Services?
Okay.
I saw that there was a logo.
Yeah, it's a cloud offering. You can create our Elastic Stack on the Amazon Web Service. Yeah. So you just a click. You just need to click on the Amazon, and you can start doing that. If you want to do it on the GCP,
Is it
you
possible
can.
for to existing data can be migrated to this?
Oh, you already have this thing running on AWS ES or AWS EC2.
AWS
AWS EC2, right? So yeah, you can migrate the data, existing data as well. It's in the S3 or your own.
I don't know. I have to ask my father. So he's maintaining those.
Yeah, we can talk about that pretty much, and we are happy. We are done.
What did you use to translate the English?
It's really bad, right?
Terrible.
Terrible, right? I know it's terrible, but I tried something.
It's a Google Translator?
Yes, exactly.
How can I get it wrong?
It's really wrong, right? What it does, it doesn't mean anything.
Thank you. Nandri is the one word.
Okay.
Mikkan remains like thank you very much.
Yeah.
But it says Maika Nandri.
Okay. You kind of got it right. So
We
what?
got it.
That's good.
Very good.
So yeah, so I'm done, and I'm around, and we can talk more.
If you stop sharing there,
Sure.
then you can have question answers. Recording.
Oh, it's really.
Sorry. That's it. Yep.
And there is some swag that we have brought, and there are some stickers. Go help yourself. Like we are happy to give it, and like we need more participation from the community point of view, because community helps us build this great company, and because today we have a lot of open source support, that's why we are here. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, they are flag. It's fine.
What about question answers? No question
Yeah,
answers?
I mean, it's fine. If they want to ask, I can.
So, has everyone taken the feedback? Given the feedback?
Is this this URL you have taken note of it? Probably.
Bit.ly/Chennai DevOps.
Exactly. But if you want me to project, I will definitely do that.
So we have some T-shirts for the first 5 feedbacks.
Yeah, don't call it that way. Yeah, we have planned this event in a really very less time, but otherwise, like, we would have done it to the entire community. Generally, that is how we do it in general. Wherever we do it. So next time we'll definitely do it as a very big thing. Yeah.
Quick question: does Kibana supports query languages?
Which query language? It supports Lucene based. There is one more scripting language that we have developed called painless scripting. So using that, you can query and see data. And there are some exciting stuff. So query language, in the sense you are talking about SQL.
Yes.
Yeah. Please hold on. We have some more announcements coming on in some time. Yeah.
And then the dashboard that you have shown, it has all the panels in it. So pie chart and bars,
everything.
So does it the way it comes with, or we can have a customizable dashboard where
You can have.
we want only the pie charts
Yes.
and the meter things.
So how do you do it? Is there is a visualize, if you would see here, right? Okay, I think I'm off this stuff actually. So there's this visualize in this Kibana in the left side. You go ahead and you can create a custom UI component for yours, and all those with all those visualizations, you can build a bigger dashboard. So you can have a pie chart. Yeah,
we can play it.
Yeah, all this, each and every tile, you can build it by yourself.
So the custom UI component can be backed by the payment script.
No. Okay, it doesn't. It's not like that. So we have some predefined, these visualizations that are supported, like the pie charts, graph, bar. There are like more than 20, 30, right? You just need to give what is the x-axis or what is the y-axis, and then it will show up the data for you in a tile. That is one visualization. So you'll take that visualization and put it in a dashboard whenever you are creating a dashboard. So you want to see a pie chart on the left, or you want to see a tag cloud kind of thing, or most search items on the left, something like that. You can create a big dashboard using that, and monitoring on the left, right. So that is it.
So visualizations, I understand there are charts and tag clouds, and like for the data for the visualization, that should can we fetch the data using painless script?
Yes. So previously it used to use the Lucene query language. So you might know it if you are aware. But we have created painless. Painless is a bit easy to use. I mean, a bit declarative and semantically easy to use. So painless scripting is new and it's evolving, and many people are using it. So painless is used for querying and getting the data.
I have used painless. More interested in how Kibana and painless are integrated.
Yeah, in the top search bar you can do that and get it. Yeah.
So is there a way to save that frequently used query?
Yeah, you can do it. Saved searches. It's called saved search. You can save that.
Is there option?
Yeah, there is no different version. Whatever we ship community to the open source, that's the one we sell. So there's no diff at all. So it's open source. It's there. Everybody is using. There is no feature diff, like you pay, you get more. You don't pay, you get more. Only XPack is like that. There are some levels in XPack. Okay, I forgot to tell. So there is something called basic, gold, and platinum. So if you sign up and download the product, XPack are plugins for Elasticsearch. So it will be giving you 30-day trial for the entire features, the security, alerting, everything you can use. After 30 days, it will skip off some, it will duplicate some features of it, but you will still get some monitoring for one cluster, and you will get reporting for one cluster. So it is time bound, but it's there. And majority of the features are available in the basic licensing as well. So except machine learning. Yeah, one more interesting thing is all the stuff that I've told now. Now we have something called in machine learning, which predicts, which finds anomaly all by itself. No need to create any visualizations, no need to do any effort. It's more easy, less manpower. It's going in that way. So it uses some machine learning algorithms, and then you can feed in the data, run the job, and it'll create and find out and throw up the data for you. Like shows, suppose it will show that how much memory do you need to increase in your Elasticsearch, or how many visitors would be visiting your site in the next weekend. So it can do such sort of predictions, forecasting. Yeah, many anomaly detection, like why is the dip happening in this particular time, so what is the time. So something around that. There are machine learning and graph modules around that.
So in Kibana, we can use only visualization part. So will I be able to give any alerting mechanism?
Yeah, there is alerting. There is alerting. Expect is part of that, and like expect. I'm not mentioning. I don't know how to. I need to join again or something. So, so expect does this alerting thing. So whenever we monitor particular, I can join it from this place.
Should I have it?
I should be having it, right? Yeah, I think. Turn off my this thing.
And unmute as well. So mute as well, please.
You're about to join.
Then you can join. Okay.
Sometimes it didn't come.
Yeah,
This is your camera, right?
no, have your video sometimes. Have your video.
Okay, cool.
Share your screen. Just give me a second.
You are sharing it, or?
Yeah. Now you should see your screen.
Okay. No, I should share.
Yeah.
Okay. There is my stuff. So whenever you one good thing that whenever you come up this cloud instance, it always installs this. It always installs this XPack by itself and gives you all the features. And it will show you this. Yeah, it's fine. Actually,
it's not sharing.
Am I not presenting?
Just stop presenting for now. Okay, now you present it, please. Understand? Present everyone. Okay, now, yeah, now we should go.
It is not actually. Shift, change this view. No, don't change, just click. That's all. Okay. So this is a Kibana that we have shown. I mean, I'm showing from last some time. So you click on the management, then you see license management. When you install, see you get a platinum license. That is a topmost license, right? For 30 days. Just because you started with cloud, you got all the features first of all for some 15 days. And then if you click get basic is a free license. You can use some basic products, like basic things that I have told. Elastic slash. So slash subscriptions, you can see all these things. What free license? It's a license for namesake that you get a free license, and then you will get all these features. See, you get all these features. Whereas if you have some gold or platinum or enterprise license, then you will get this extra machine learning, those sort of features, machine learning and some sort of watcher features. So basic license doesn't include this alerting mechanism. You have to build it by yourself, which could also be done. But if you are interested, I can show that. So now I have configured some sort of alert. This is the monitoring module of Elasticsearch. So my cluster is getting monitored now. My own Elasticsearch cluster is getting monitored, and I also have my infrastructure being monitored. I am running 3 beats here. If you see, this is the dashboard. So metric beat is running in Ubuntu, packet beat is running in Ubuntu, and like audit beat is running. So if I click on this particular thing, see the throughput, everything. See this events rate, fail rate, everything. This is again a different view. You are seeing a different view from management point of view. Then yeah, so I spoke about the monitoring, right? Suppose some particular event happens, and you need to get aware of it, right? I've created a watcher, we call it as watch. So there's some sort of watchdog which watches for some events to happen. Suppose your particular JVM is getting crashed, you're running a server, your server is getting crashed frequently, you are getting that data, you should take action, or somebody should look into that server, right? Then you can configure a watcher like this, which sends an email. If I activate, right, so it'll start sending mails to me. So yeah, so if I activate it, it will run for every 10 seconds. I've configured in that manner. It's all UI based, nothing more than that. It's a UI, and there are JSON based scripts for this, but now we have changed, we have added a UI. So I've configured something like when count reaches the top metrics, the CPU cores is above 400 for the last 1 day, fire a mail to my mail saying that this alert is from Chennai DevOps. Let us see whether we received this thing. See, I have received already so many alerts, and you can directly go to that watcher where it is happening. So that's how it is. So yeah, let me deactivate this first. Yeah, we do have some more actually. If you go to edit, there are, you have Slack actually. You have Slack. You can add it to another log. There are various ways. I think Slack and email works for a lot of admins. Slack bot is a popular thing now, so you can link into a Slack bot, and Slack bot pushes to your channel. Yeah, sir, you have a question.
Spoke about dashboards. Is there any way you can do a description?
Guided tour types? I doubt actually. Right now we don't have like some. But why do you need guided tour for an admin?
Not guided. Native the dashboard.
Something.
Suppose their metric is there. Compared to last month. Right.
Which generates a description, or which speaks that, or which
speaks the metric.
Speak or via voice.
To make it very narrative.
We do have some accessibility point of view, like to enable some users from point of colors and like that point of view, we do have some features, but I doubt that none of the report will speak up by itself. There is no feature like that, but which gives you a description. I like today morning this has happened. There's nothing, that sort of what thing is not there, but it's an interesting thought as well. So yeah, so you can contribute to us and we'll be happy. Yes.
Is there any roadmap which you have?
So machine learning,
certain other tools which are like H2O.
Yeah, we
then running it on the data which Elastic has.
Yes, exactly. So I spoke about so first of all, machine learning is a commercial version of our product, so it's a closed source product right now, and we have some exciting things coming on that front. I can't talk more, but yeah, like you can listen a lot of announcements around that area. But yeah, so there are some Python, not Python based scripts. We are running some machine learning algorithms on anomaly detection, and there are papers published for the same, what we are using, how we are doing it. It's not hidden under the hood, like we are doing some stuff. So this is the second question, like what we are doing, like Jupyter or H2O, some sort of scikit-learn or something around that frameworks or Keras. So that is there already, but we do have some exciting roadmap coming up for machine learning as well. And then regarding this, how you would do it, how you would run the jobs, that I spoke about the master node, data node. Each node has, every machine can have a role, something of that sort, right? So there is a role called ML node. So if you mark the node with a particular node.ml :true in the elasticsearch.yaml, that node becomes a ML specific node. So whenever you have machine learning jobs running, it will take a lot of memory and lot of CPU stuff like that. So these jobs run on only that particular node. We advise customers to do this. Otherwise, it would run in any other feasible node, and it would cause damage to your search throughput or your indexing stuff and all.
Is machine learning create visualizations automatically?
Yes, yes, it will create.
You have a product for performance.
Yes, APM. You're talking about application performance. Which one?
Rally.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So all our benchmarks are done here. So you can check benchmarks.elastic.co, and you can see we run on some data sets, and you can see how Elasticsearch performs on these data sets. Yeah, the CA runs every time, and like it's a Kibana dashboard inbuilt. You can see that stuff. See how we are performing each version, or everything is benchmarked. Everything is run for every release. We test this stack and then we release it on various data sets. So it's a big effort.
So you have to map your text to.
No. So if you would want to do your monitoring stuff for your application, that's what you're asking. I'm not very clear of your question. Like, you want to do monitoring for a particular application, is it? Yes.
Basically, do a benchmarking. How much cluster, what sort of data you can handle in that term.
Okay, you want to test your own cluster and find out what is the stuff. That's why we have this monitoring dashboard built for particular use cases where people would need to know what is happening, whether my for the incoming data, whether my this thing would work. See, Elasticsearch overview, if I click, it will show all this stuff for you, for monitoring, for getting this stuff. So if you have to come up to some sizing like I have to tell you, like, suppose you have some 1 TB of data, and you don't know how to put it in Elasticsearch, right? That is the use case. Yeah. So that is a sizing question. Like, it depends again. So that is our favorite answer. So it depends on a lot of use cases, whether you're looking for searching or you're looking for the data is not most of the data is searched every day, or various use cases. Whether what is a use case, like is it business, like is it e-commerce or financial related, or it's security related. So according to that, we need to size. So I can send over the sizing kind of, there is a blog post for which will tell you some sort of formula, so that you can come up with some list of data nodes or stuff like that, so that you can go and look and try to create your own stuff.
So recently, I'm using expert trials. So in my case, Kibana having one dashboard. The dashboard having the huge data. Okay, once I
what data set?
Huge.
Okay, huge data. Okay, fine. Yeah.
So that database, that dashboard having nearby 25 visualizations.
Okay.
Okay, that's the bulk data is there. Once I using with the expert, I'm getting the report.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes the report is coming generated, sometimes it's a time.
Okay, so it also depends on what is the Elastic. I mean, like, you again run a Kibana on a node, right? So essentially it's a machine. So again, it should have some memory and stuff like that. So all that things are done here. So it is advised that you need to do, suppose if you are running all queries, all is a type of query where you run some particular, suppose you search for Chennai in the entire Google data center, it might take 1.5 days, or like it might take 2 hours, right? So there are certain things, even if you go now today and go and check the pagination, right? It will show some 10 pages. It will not show all the pages in the world which says Chennai, right? So there are some limitations that is definitely there. So you need to check and play with the particular terms accordingly. That's the use case. So if you are getting timeouts, that means your search query has not come back. It's also some rest kind of request. It goes in queries and it waits for the thing to come up, and it doesn't show up. That means like it is not ending. You should check your Elasticsearch once whether it is getting timed out or there are any exceptions on the log, like that.
There is some restriction in there.
Yeah. Somebody has.
We have one more question, just of time.
Yeah.
Two more questions.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a kind of
Hmm.
Kibana is kind of so what we use to so it's kind of we will use so from that we will do querying, and as you said, like that data. Can I consider the Kibana also just like, but for the by default they do have all that.
So actually Grafana is kind of a not a competitor, but Grafana has its own user base. So first of all, Kibana has a like entire Elastic Stack as a huge community. So features being developed, whereas I don't see like Grafana is also used by many companies, and it is equivalent product, but you have more features in Kibana. Like you have all these plugins. So whatever I've shown is only developed by Elasticsearch or Elastic right now. The company developed. So there are thousands of plugins where people have developed out of their use case. Somebody have developed a Chinese language converter. That means they search in Chinese in Elastic in Chinese, and then the search result come in Chinese. Elasticsearch understands the Chinese and gives a result. So there should be a plugin or analyzer. We call it as analyzer. So which will convert. Suppose you can build the same for Tamil. Same. So those are the plugins that I'm talking about. Like all those plugins, all those community would help you when you want to solve a use case. Okay.
I agree that we can monitor, we can do the Elasticsearch login, and we can customize the even Apache Lab and engineering, like whatever it is, customize the. So when we are doing coding, obviously it's a beautiful thing. I'm wondering about the Mongo. So what might of this like Mongo basically how they are using the log. For example, they have some when it is getting trained, how they are getting like they have a clear log. They are saying like when the move is uncertainly unexpected shutdown means, then it is going to get into the log and it's data and so when I'm using this thing for the world, whether it will impact my
shouldn't be ideally. So Go is a very performant language. Whether I don't know whether you have heard of it or not. Many companies now use Go, and many Kubernetes, the system which orchestrates many containers, it is written in Go. So metric beat and all these beats are based on Go. That's why I stressed upon it, because it is a very performant. It takes very thin. It's a thin agent, and it hardly impacts your workload, which is running like for metric. So it hardly impacts. I think it should not impact your. If it is seeing, then we should see.
Right. It's going to take a backup of the log, and then it's doing Elasticsearch and index everything, and then it's going to give us a visualization. So it's kind of taking one shot of reading, right? Not like read line by line. Not like that.
Which one?
Elasticsearch. It is kind of taking a backup and doing index.
It is near real time. We call NRL. Near real time is there will be hardly 1-2 second delay. That's all. So if you put the refresh counter for the 10 seconds I have put, it is refreshing automatically. If I put 5 seconds, right? So this view is not like maybe it needs refresh, but Elasticsearch is constantly crunching the data and setting up details for you. So that graph will slowly start flowing like this, just like your task manager. There's a classic example. You've seen the task manager, the graphs coming up slowly, right? Same thing could happen here. Probably if you have more questions, we can take offline, and we'll definitely talk about that. I'm not stopping you, but we'll give chance to somebody else. So one last question.
The
Application monitoring, that actually that is a separate solution. So we have use case. Okay, so if you have an let me show the APM so that I hope it doesn't. Yeah, it crashed. So you want to monitor an application. So what it does is you have an Java or I'm taking a very generic use case. So you take a Java app or a Python app in a sense. It's a web server running, and you want to monitor what are the resources which are getting delivered, or like what is the exceptions that are occurring in my system. Then you would need a system which monitors, which tells you that your request is delivered in certain amount of time. Like you clicked elastic.com, you click google.com and reaches your server. Then how much time did it take from this to this? There are some agents that we would install in your server, and your server would calculate the HTTP response times and generate a view for you. So it checks various factors. Suppose if your application is crashing, you can pinpoint to particular point where it crashed, what code. There is no need to debug to an extent. So it saves a lot of developer hours. So now the popular trend is to use application performance monitoring systems and build self-healing systems. Companies like Facebook, some Google or Amazon, they need the services to be run all the time. They can't expect downtime. So they would use systems like these to maintain that, that all-time reliability.
So I have a question. Maybe we're talking about APM. So it is going to monitor the total application. So that application depends on some individual process running. Will that also get monitored in this?
So it is specific to particular language. APMs are always specific to language.
So it is going to be a node. So that node application is dependent on some individual process.
So it is again dependent on the other thing. So it will tell that, okay, because that service is failing, I am failing at this point. So even in your application, it ends at that point, right? So again, it's calling another service or something, right? So you have a node app which is dependent on another app.
Not an
service
app, it's like a process running in parallel to this.
Yeah. Yeah. So we, if it is also written in Node, we can do that. If it is written in Node, suppose so as I'm telling, right? So right now, application performance monitoring supports Python, JavaScript, Node, and Node-based frameworks, right? You can see that Ruby also as well. So so when you install this on the server and you collect this data, it shows to the point where it crashed. Suppose if your entire app or the parallel process which are running on the system is a node based app, then it would definitely show. Otherwise, if you have a node server which is dependent on a Java process, Java XML HTTP server, or Java server which is running parallel on the same machine, then there's a less chance that it would show that code. Otherwise, we should also trace that. So how APMs work in general, right? Again, APM itself takes like some 1 hour topic to briefly explain how it really works. So APM works this way. You would write few lines to inject R library in your code at your entry point. Suppose you have the index.html or some sort of file in Node.js which starts at the first, right? You will write that first 4 lines and we would start tracing your application. We'll trace the application. So every time your request goes through the library, and then you will see all the HTTP headers, like you can open up and see not the data part, but at least like the place where the code got broke. That point you can see. So parallelly, if it is in the same language, we can do that because it goes in the same thing. Otherwise, it won't actually. If it's a separate instance, we can't trace. You right?
So it will be traversing into the inner node and find out the problem, right?
Exactly. There are like it's like a span. It opens up to some 20 levels. So it shows this is dependent on this. This is dependent on this.
So
We have a APM webinar coming on, by the way. So just cue to before somebody wants to leave. So I know it's too late, but there are webinars that we do on all these sort of topics, which you can simply attend. I doubt, but yeah, videos and webinars. If you see, so slash videos you could do some or.
Can you post this link on the blog?
Yeah, I can post everything. I can post. So these are the webinars that you can see. Recently, we did a security analytics webinar. We did a machine learning webinar. Lot of content coming in. APM, we did a GA recently, like 1 week back. So we have a webinar coming on that about explaining about APM product, not our product, APM in general, and then all these details. Yeah. So it's an interesting and never-ending topic. So yeah, please pick up the swag.
Before moving out, I think it's only fair to appreciate Arvind's time. Thank you so much. And
it's so nice that Chennai DevOps has organized this. And yeah, I would like to take a pic so that we would post it in our company Slack and stuff like that. I'll take it from here so that you all can come this side so that you could take a final. Yeah, that we'll do definitely. Yeah, we'll do that as well. But you can come here.
What about the elastic t-shirts? How are we going to give it?
It's up to you.
It's yours.
No, nothing is as you can. Please come, sir. Okay.
Check your feed. Was given the feedback.
Yeah, there are only 10 t-shirts. Okay, cool. I think I'm not so tall, but I'll try to. I will do that. Yeah, no, let me do it. We will send. Please send. We'll do it. Then. Yeah, we'll take a formal pic as well. That's really good idea.
Check your feedback.
It's fine. Or otherwise you can give to the people who ask questions or something.
Yeah. So we have dinner organized.
I will talk to you.
So what's the feedback you want?
we can put that in the
Yeah, I can do that.
LY / Chennai DevOps.
I will do that. In the meetup, right?
Yeah, in the meetup site. So if you go to the meetup site, you will be able to see the feedback URL. So I request you all to.
That's it.
I have done.
You would get it.
You owe me one.
Yeah, sure. So, unfortunately, I
love black.
You love black.
Thank you.
I don't know whether what size, but sure. So what we could do is like could help and. Okay. Nice. It's a long session and.
Please do stay back for the dinner.
Elasticsearch 2 years.
Okay.
So I can see a through.
Yeah. It's a pretty technically deep.
Come up with one visualization.
Okay. But I feel like now we are doing more India related content. We'll have some awesome